The courtroom was unnaturally silent, the air thick, clinging to every breath. Its towering marble walls, weathered by decades of battles, seemed to cage the simmering tension. Into this hush stepped Naomi Carter, a black woman in a sharply tailored navy suit, briefcase in hand. Each step echoed with hard-earned authority, the kind forged through relentless struggle. She carried the poise of someone who owned this arena, who had fought and bled for it. Yet prejudice outpaces truth. At the security checkpoint, Sergeant Ryan Kessler, a police officer, locked eyes on her. His face twisted into a sneer, and without hesitation, he blocked her path. Naomi calmly presented her FBI badge, its gleam a testament to her legitimacy. Kessler barely glanced at it before snatching it with a force that startled onlookers, clerks, attorneys, passers-by. His voice, loud and laced with contempt, sliced through the lobby's murmur. "This is fake. Where'd you steal it?" Before she could respond, he seized her wrist, twisted it behind her back, and slammed her against the wooden railing with a thud that reverberated across the marble floors. Gasps rippled, but no one intervened. Handcuffs snapped shut, biting her skin as her briefcase hit the floor, the same briefcase holding evidence that would soon unravel the illusion of justice in this building. Naomi's cheek pressed against the coolwood, her jaw tight, fury burning, not fear, not shame, but fury. "You just made the biggest mistake of your life," she whispered. Kessler scoffed, oblivious. He couldn't know that in under 7 minutes, his world would collapse under the weight of Naomi's truth. This began long before that Thursday morning in Birmingham. Naomi grew up in Mobile, Alabama, raised by her mother, Eleanor Carter, who cleaned hospital floors on overnight shifts to keep them afloat. Her father, lost to a broken system before she was 10, left her with lessons: stand tall when they try to shrink you, hold your head high when the world pulls you down. By 15, Naomi learned survival wasn't about volume, it was about unwavering purpose. That quiet strength carried her through college, FBI training, and into her role as a senior agent tackling systemic corruption. Today's hearing was the climax of a 7-month undercover investigation into a web of misconduct, abuse, and corruption entrenched in the Birmingham Police Department, a web that ensnared Kessler himself, though he didn't yet know it. The scuffed briefcase on the floor held everything: audio recordings, doctored body cam footage, falsified reports, whistleblower testimonies too scared to surface publicly. That was about to change. Dragged to a side detention room, Naomi sat rigid, wrists raw. A young deputy, barely 23, set a water bottle before her, whispering shakily, "I'm sorry." She didn't look at him. She didn't need pity, she needed the system to answer. Outside, news of her arrest spread like wildfire. Reporters circled, phones captured grainy footage of a black woman in handcuffs, her badge discarded nearby. The judge delayed the docket. Clerks whispered into phones. By the time Naomi was released, no apology, no acknowledgement. The courthouse crackled with anticipation. At 11:42 a.m., Naomi straightened her suit and strode to courtroom 3C. Every eye, phone, and pen tracked her. On the witness stand, the silence deepened, teetering between reverence and dread. "My name is Naomi Carter," she said, voice unshaken. "I'm a special agent with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. For 7 months, I've led an undercover investigation into coordinated misconduct and civil rights violations within the Birmingham Police Department." She lifted her briefcase, withdrawing a USB drive marked with a black X. "I submit the following: audio recordings, video footage, and documents proving systemic corruption, including racial profiling, evidence fabrication, and obstruction of justice." The judge, an older man with deep lines of experience, leaned forward. Naomi clicked a remote, and a projector flickered to life. Kessler's voice boomed through the first recording. "Just say he resisted. They'll believe us." A collective gasp swept the room. Naomi pressed on, Evidence piling up, recordings, videos, documents, each weaving a damning tale of betrayal by those sworn to protect. In the gallery, a mother of a wrongfully arrested teen wept. Defense attorneys scribbled frantically. Prosecutors squirmed. The judge's fists clenched atop his bench. When asked if she could identify implicated officers, Naomi turned to Kessler. "Sergeant Ryan Kessler," she said, unflinching. "He's not only involved in multiple incidents, but assaulted me this morning in this courthouse, without cause, to intimidate and discredit me before my testimony." The judge's jaw tightened. A motion for Naomi's federal protection and Kessler's discipline was granted instantly. Chaos erupted around Kessler. His attorney whispered urgently. His face reddened as reality hit. He'd attacked the woman dismantling his empire of lies. Naomi wasn't done. The next morning, she returned. Same suit, same heels, same relentless stride. News vans lined Birmingham streets. Reporters packed the courtroom. Naomi presented a second USB drive, sealed with red forensic tape. "This contains 26 minutes of audio from a confidential informant, a police officer under Kessler's command," she said. The screen showed a dim parking garage, Kessler's voice instructing subordinates to tamper with evidence and intimidate witnesses. The informant's strained voice revealed Kessler's boast, "I'm untouchable. Got the judge, the chief, the DA in my pocket." The courtroom froze, as if the walls themselves recoiled. "Your Honor," Naomi said, her voice ablaze, "I request the immediate arrest of Sergeant Ryan Kessler for obstruction of justice, conspiracy, and interference in a federal investigation." The judge didn't hesitate. "Sergeant Kessler, you are ordered into custody." Kessler's protests drowned in the void. Handcuffs closed around his wrists, and the crowd watched, stunned, as he was led away. Justice, swift and merciless, had found him. Naomi's work continued. With attorney Lila Thompson and a courageous officer, Jaden Harris, who broke ranks to testify, she exposed a broader corruption network spanning nearby cities. Closed cases reopened. Silenced families found their voices. They uncovered the truth behind Officer Lucas Reed's death, a rookie who challenged misconduct and was ruled a suicide. Naomi's investigation proved otherwise: tampered evidence, missing files, whispered threats. The case shook the nation. Naomi testified before Congress, spoke at law schools, rewrote whistleblower protections, and trained agents in resilience and integrity. Promotions and awards followed, but she cared little for them. She knew the cost of truth. One evening, in her childhood home in Mobile, Naomi sat at the worn kitchen table, her mother brewing tea. A photo of her father in his army uniform rested in her hands. "He'd be proud," Eleanor said softly. Naomi didn't reply. She just breathed, truly breathed, for the first time in years, not because the fight was over, but because she'd never fight alone again. Justice is not a moment, it's a movement, stitched by those who bleed for it, paved by those who refuse silence. Naomi Carter showed the world that one unyielding voice can topple mighty foundations. Her scars, worn like armor, remind us that righteousness belongs to those who stand when the world demands they kneel, to those who refuse to be silenced, to the Naomi Carters of the world and all who dare to follow.